love to hear my voice.
I mean,
that's really it.
That's why I come over here.
Yeah, thank you. So Heath, is that your real name?
Yeah, that's my real name.
All right, it's not an alias or anything?
I lack creativity.
Oh, okay. I can respect that. As an Ian, I can respect that.
Yeah. That's pretty sad, bro. The Ian thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, who else is there?
Did they give up on other names?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, since we're talking about trilogies today, we should respect Ian. Since Ian McClellan played Gandalf in the greatest trilogy
okay.
that's ever
how you
been
did
made. So I think
how you did
we should
that.
just give a little respect to Ian.
All right, we'll give a little respect,
Just a little,
but not
that's
too
all.
much respect.
I don't need much.
Yeah, just enough respect.
I don't need much.
All right, okay. So, I don't know. Is he going to be able to hear the music?
You should be able to, yeah.
All right, we're going to start it up.
Let us know if you hear the music, Heath.
Okay.
I can't hear the music. Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
there
You
it
fucking
is.
up real.
Wow.
You're supposed to be the tech guy,
There
bro.
it is.
All right. Here we go.
I made sure the phone worked.
All right, that counts for something.
It does.
All right, welcome to the Sofa Kingdom Podcast with your host, Nelson.
And I'm Ian.
Ed.
And our very special guest today from The Last War.
Heath.
Heath. What does everybody wants to know what the B stands for?
The B?
Yeah.
It's my the start of my last name.
Okay, all right.
I'm that
I can-
original. I'm that original.
Listen, I can also respect that as someone with a B last name. So.
Yeah, but his stands for bitch.
It does. It does. Mine stands for bitch. So. You know.
So, Ian is probably the only one out of the four of us that does not know what The Last War is and how addictive this fucking game is to all of us.
I can appreciate addictive games. Though, so
You've
it's
made a
all right.
good choice not playing.
Oh, I have?
Yes.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely made a good choice not playing, man.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You would be sucked into it as bad as we are.
Oh, yeah.
I find I got 2 minutes. Let me jump on. Let me send out a raid. Let me go get some resources, and then I go back into reality. It's one of those things. It's like the only other game that has stole my soul as bad is Skyrim.
Oh yeah. Well, I can't be allocating any more of my time. I think as of right now, masturbation and crying myself to sleep. I think that takes up a majority of my life. So.
More the crying or more the masturbation?
It depends on how good the first session.
Okay,
is.
all right.
If the first session goes a lot worse, I do a lot more crying and a lot less sleeping.
Yeah,
So,
sometimes he's crying because it feels good. Sometimes he's crying because his life sucks. We just don't know.
That's
Yes,
right, exactly.
exactly. Yeah,
Sometimes I'm crying because I need more lube. So it's whatever. You gotta do what you gotta do. So
More tears.
anyway,
Cheers. Yeah. No.
Anyway,
yeah.
last war.
So Eddie actually has been playing this game for about how long now?
I'm on like a 446-day streak.
Jesus.
Lord.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a
Shit,
really
man.
good game. He's almost like level 35 currently is the highest.
Is the max. Yeah, I'm in the process of upgrading the buildings required to get to level 35.
Now, at this point, does it take like a month to save up just to be able to do an upgrade?
Yeah, some of the resource. I mean, you're talking it's billions in resources for the upgrades. it's silly. Some of them, yeah, you get to the point where the speed at which you can collect the resources is really what slows you down. I have all the speed ups to just queue and hit done, and it doesn't fucking matter. It's like I can hit done. I don't got anything to start the next building.
Right,
It's just
right,
sit and
right.
wait.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like, the game starts at a reasonable rate, like most games do, right?
Right.
You're like, oh, I could do things in a timely fashion. And then, like, 3 months in, after you're hooked, they're like, now it's going to take a month for you to get this. It's like 29 days for something to finish. You know, but they have things that you could do to speed up the process in the building and the healing and the things of that nature. But it still takes a lot of resources and time to get there.
And the whole time you're playing against like a Saudi Arabian team that's funded by oil.
Hey, you have not played the game, and it's fucking funny you say that because
I'm just
absolutely.
Yeah. So how do you do that?
You're bringing back like the nom of the game, man. Like 798. You're bringing back nom, man.
Well, how do you guys deal with that? Like Heath, how do you deal with like a fucking oil sheik that like just like throws like he thinks it's hilarious to throw millions of dollars that he doesn't feel at a game that he spends time on? Like, how do we deal with that?
Well, you just try to avoid him.
You cry and you masturbate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
jeez.
you mastered it.
Damn.
No, yeah, you have to avoid. There's some people that are so strong that if 4 or 5 people collectively hit them with everything they had, it would bounce right off
They
of
would
them.
still lose.
Yeah.
They would still lose.
Yeah, they call them whales in the game.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It not only just bounces off, but it doesn't even fucking flick his nuts. You know? It's like -1 on his health bar on his like weakest team.
Oh God. That's got that's got to really like make
It's
you feel
defeating.
good. Yeah.
It is defeating.
When you throw like a well-planned, well-choreographed attack and it doesn't even like chip the armor, you're like, oh,
Nope.
great. Ah, fuck.
No. Yeah, because you get into these maps where you play these like little events like Desert Storm and Winter Storm where you're forced into a small map to fight. And like everybody's fighting, it seems fair, and then one person just pops in and you're like, fuck. Nothing you can do. Wherever they go, you avoid. You go to another area and you try to fight and play strategically.
You got to play for points in certain events because sometimes a big whale player can just wherever they move, they interrupt the map. But it's like they can only be in one spot. You know, there's 7 or 8 to hold. So it's like, all right, we'll take the other 7.
Yeah,
and because there might be the one whale player, but there's very few where you're like, oh, there's several in this alliance.
Yeah.
Generally, they want to be the one big dog. They don't want competition even their own alliance.
Yeah.
Is this similar at all to Clash of Clans? Like, is there any relation to that?
I'd say it's like a real-time strategy. I would
Yeah,
consider the genre.
A lot of especially a lot of the mobile ones, they have a lot of the same DNA to them, where they build it up in a certain way where you start hitting walls and they start tempting you with spending money. It's a very time-consuming because if you're not going to spend money, you have to make sure you're doing every tiny little thing you can do for whatever resources you can collect to keep ahead of the people that aren't doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it is a game where you can play collectively without spending, but if you do spend, you will do better than other people.
Got it.
You know, so I find myself in this mid area where I spend far too much, in my opinion, on the game. But it gets you to a place where you're like, all right, I feel comfortable fighting against other people. I don't spend all the time, but I do spend too much.
I find if you get the monthly pass and maybe the exclusive weapons for whoever's on your first string, you're ahead of everybody except the whales.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's enough for me. I'm like, I'm a big enough problem that they need to get the whale if they're going to be bothering me.
Yeah. But what I find funny about the game, and Heath knows about this because we switched servers, is in-game politics.
Yeah.
Like sometimes these people take the game so seriously. It's like they're selling their children to you. It's like, yo,
they're selling their firstborn son's like left nut to be able to fucking.
Oh my God.
They keep buying hero upgrades, man. Like, it's insane.
People will sell their kids' college tuition
What the fuck?
Yeah.
to get upgrades and beat people. We've had stories in our old server where people will spend like a week's paycheck to like just prove a point and burn everybody.
Yep.
So why don't they just blow it at the bar like my dad did? Hey, why do you
Like
gotta
a
be
normal
fancy?
person. Yeah.
Just come home fucking drunk Sunday with nothing. Like that's the old strategy.
Yeah.
What do we-
So Heath, where are you from? We are in Florida ourselves right here.
Oh, you guys are in Florida?
Yes.
What part of Florida?
West Palm Beach. Yeah.
You're in West Palm Beach?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just north of Miami.
No shit. I have a brother who lives down there.
What?
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah.
Can we
no
actually
shit. That's
can
wild.
we get fucking Heath in the studio?
Yo, bro, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Anytime you're in South Florida, you just let us know, man. We get you in the studio over here. Yeah.
Where are you based out of?
I live in Nebraska.
Oh, jeez, man.
So like, yeah, I'm in south central Nebraska, like about an hour and a half.
So do you actually live in an igloo?
Nebraska, not Alaska. Like, there's no fucking igloos.
Yeah, I'm not in Alaska.
Yeah.
Nebraska.
He's not an Inuit.
Well,
Like,
this isn't a geography podcast, Ian.
Never mind.
I don't know. I can see myself with a squaw lady. What should I say?
All right, never mind. Hey, get some muckluck slippers and shit and live off seal fat. That'd be fun.
You had muckluck just sitting there at the top of the tongue, bro.
Mucklucks,
That's
yeah.
impressive. That is fucking impressive.
Yeah,
yes.
thank you. Every now and then I pull one out. So how close to Omaha are you?
About 2 hours.
All right.
Like, I'm southwest of Omaha, about 2 hours. So like if you the closest town like west of Lincoln that would be like basically straight and they would be like York.
All right. So you know about Terrence Crawford then?
Yeah, wasn't he a serial killer in like the 80s?
No, he's actually a professional boxer.
With somebody else.
Yeah. However, there's a lot of serial killers in the 80s.
Yeah.
There might be a Terrence Crawford out there, but right now he's like one of the best boxers on the planet, and he's actually based out of Omaha.
I would say, to be fair, anybody named Terrence Crawford should be a serial killer.
Yeah, I mean, it does sound like a serial killer name, man. Like,
Well, listen, I hope he's a serial killer because he's fighting Canelo in a couple months, so he better be a serial killer.
what kind of boxing? Is he in the UFC or what's
No, he's just old-fashioned boxing. He's actually one of the baddest men on the planet right now, and he resides from your part of the world.
Really? Nice,
yeah.
man. Okay.
That's wild.
Yeah, you got some tough people out there in those cornfields, Heath.
Yeah, it's there
Yeah,
and Dagestani.
Yeah, I got
Right,
it.
the Dagestanis.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
We're corn-fed and inbred. What can I say? I don't know.
Well, it's working. It's whatever you're doing.
Speaking of, me and my brother lived in Pennsylvania for quite some time.
Yeah, that's true. which is the part of the world that I hail from.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We all kind of spent some time in the sticks and in the city.
The Quakers definitely kept it in the family.
Yeah, for sure.
They do that.
But then you drive like 30 minutes out and you're in Philadelphia getting robbed by a crackhead.
that's right.
So, I mean,
That's right.
pick your poison. Yeah.
That is true.
So-
Yeah.
True. So what do you play when you're not playing this last war, Heath? Are you would you say you're a PlayStation guy or an Xbox guy?
Oh, I'm old school, man. I really don't play much for video games. Like, so I'll break out the old Xbox 360.
Yeah. That's when gaming was great. The Xbox 360. I still have an Xbox now.
The original Gears of War and a proper lobby where everybody was already in.
Yes.
You didn't have to. Everyone had headphones and everybody was talking shit.
That was the glory days. I would rush home from work to spend like 3 hours just talking shit. I'm like, I didn't care if you were 15 or 50. You were getting assaulted.
God, you guys are bringing back Modern Warfare 3 for me, man. That was my game. I loved that.
Yeah, Modern Warfare. I think that was Shipment was the map that I laughed the most and everyone hated me because I would just take a fucking rocket launcher and just kill everybody before the round started. Aim it at the floor, kill your entire team, and everybody's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
The only one I used to play online, as I'm not a shooter guy, was World at War. And it was always fucked up because I would always pick a German soldier and I would noob tube. like my whole kit was just the old like rocket, like not even an RPG, just the grenade on the tube.
Just the noob tube.
Where it had only one shot. It would just go, and it would fucking blow something up, and people hated me. And my other weapon was literally just another fucking noob tube.
That's right.
And so like that was my first weapon and my other weapon. So if I didn't kill you, I didn't get any weapons. I had to kill you with my tube and then get. And I didn't care. I went in there not to win. I went in there to ruin your streak.
For your own personal enjoyment.
Yes.
Exactly.
If anyone got 7 kills in a row and called in the dogs, I failed. So my job literally existed for you to not have as much fun playing the game.
Gears of War 3 was the game that we played the most on the Xbox 360, and the chainsaw machine gun brought camping to a whole new level.
Yeah.
You could just sit there with it revved, and if they turned the corner, they died. You didn't even have to move. You could just sit there revved.
Yeah, they run into it.
And they ran into it. Was like a fucking vacuum. And then you would murder them, and then people would curse you out in the lobby. And I was like, this is glorious. This is amazing.
It's a pretty good weapon, you know. Definitely got some inspiration from the old school Doom.
Yes. Which they did bring back. I haven't played any of the newer iterations of Doom.
I won't, because to me, Doom is like...
It's a nostalgia game.
Yeah, Doom is literally the shitty graphics and like you're trudging through acid grunting.
The lagging was so bad in Doom.
Oh man, the best thing ever is when you run out of ammo and you don't have the chainsaw, so you're literally punching a demon in the face with brass knuckles. And the fact that you can actually kill it just says something to how strong the Doom guy is.
Yeah, he works out.
I mean, if
He
you
works
just
out.
if you pull out brass knuckles and you punch a minion from hell
Yeah.
to death,
Yeah, he's on some type of
Yeah.
Mexican supplements.
He's on all the supplements.
Yeah.
All of them.
That dude was high on bath salts, man.
Oh, for sure.
That's
For
what
sure.
it was.
So you're saying he's from Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Make sure when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out that you buy it.
Plot twist.
Yeah.
Twist. He's actually a zombie from Last War.
Oh, there you go.
So what we have here is today we brought a nice little list of some trilogies. We're gonna leave out cartoons because I think that's a category onto itself. Like we can't start bringing in like Shrek and Kung Fu Panda and Toy Story, although they're great.
I don't know.
They belong in
There's enough trilogies that they could be their own show.
So it has to be a live action trilogy.
Yes. So I put together a list, and I figured we can rate them from trash, average, classic, and god tier. Right? Now, save the god tier for the absolute best, because you don't want to just start throwing everything in there. So, like, we'll start with something that I feel is really top tier. Eddie brought it up before you guys got here. It's one of the best Marvel movies out there.
Okay.
It's the Deadpool trilogy. Now, that's just my opinion. I don't know if you guys have all seen the Deadpool trilogy, and we're going to consider Deadpool and Wolverine as a part of that trilogy, because that's part three. It's part three. But Hugh Jackman.
I was gonna say, I didn't think there was 3 Deadpool.
Yeah. You got one and two, and then you got
finally.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
It takes you a minute to be like, yeah, no, it's a Deadpool movie.
But it was one of those things that, like, most of the time, the third movie is the trash movie of the trilogy for some reason, right? We always get, like, a great number one or really decent number two, but sometimes that third movie is what falls apart in the trilogy.
I would say in this situation, in the Deadpool one, that's the strongest in
the whole series,
Yeah.
And I think it's a long time coming because Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, behind the scenes, they trash talked each other for years.
Yeah.
And it was so good. It was the best lead in to a final movie for a series. And also they worked really well together.
Yeah.
So as far as, and I hate to say it like right off the back, but like I would give the Deadpool trilogy like a god tier level. Like all 3 movies are fucking solid.
I'm good with that.
I could sleep at night with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
It's all right.
I
Go
love
ahead, give your opinion. Give your opinion.
We like this, Heath.
Yeah, what's the categories again? Like,
So we
saving
got
God.
trash, average, a classic, or god tier.
I'd say it's a classic, man, because it's like
I can respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that. Just
There-
because
there
what?
have
Just
been,
because of that fat kid from New Zealand that was in the second one. Because I could,
yeah,
I could definitely see you like knocking points off for that.
yeah, man. Like that character was all right.
Yeah, but he was
He's just fat.
he was
Fat
real
and
fucking
awkward.
fat, dude. Like real fat. Like I don't know who or what happened to get him in that way.
I hate on him.
Bro. I thought he was like a villain. I was like, God damn, like look at this fucking.
Yeah, dude.
And then they gave him fucking like firepower. I'm like, dude, yeah, right. He'd be sizzling like bacon if he had that power. Like, get the fuck out of here,
You know they were bringing him in as a live action blob.
bro. Yeah. And then in the future,
Yeah, dude, man.
yeah.
Imagine that guy like turning on that flame power. It'd be like flaming fart, dude. That
Dude.
body odor on that guy, that'd be so bad.
And then in
man.
the future, he's like this jacked, like Arabic dude.
Yeah.
Like when he finally grows up, I'm like, what? Did like they have fucking Ozempic in the apocalypse? Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I ain't buying it. Like, I might actually side with Heath here, just because, yeah, I might knock a few points off just because of fat.
Gonna call it a classic.
Yeah,
All
it's a
right.
classic.
So we got 2 in there for classic,
Yeah.
but
Out of all these, there's only one trilogy on this list that I'm looking at that I would put in God tier. But
I have
biased.
3.
I'm biased.
I have 3. I have
biased.
3.
Hey, some of us don't get the list in front of us. Hey, cheeky, man.
I know.
Oh man, who didn't?
Preparing your fucking ideas in your head to what you're gonna say. This why this is God tier. Like,
Well,
5
damn, what the
minutes
fuck?
before
Let's send him this. He's got a phone.
Okay, hold on a second, Eddie. I'm gonna move over to my phone. Hold on.
Hold on. This has never been done. If we lose you, Heath, it's because Nelson.
It's because of Nelson.
He's gonna try to
Well,
send.
yeah.
He's gonna send you information, and if anything cuts out, it's Nelson's fault.
Yeah, yeah.
So stay with us. He's gonna send you the list because there's no reason in this era of technology that you should not be looking at.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be called Bright.
I have not disconnected.
Okay, I was gonna give you a bunch of shit about not being so bright side,
Here we go.
but you actually got it done, so I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
All right, because we started from the bottom there at the list, so we're gonna go to the next one. And this is an
Shit,
older
man.
movie here.
We're not getting through all this.
No, we're not gonna get through all of them, but we're gonna just jump into a couple here. There's
three Beverly Hills Cops.
Beverly Hills Cops. There are 3 of them. That is peak Eddie Murphy.
Oh my God.
That was a good 80s. I would say like
I'm giving it average.
it brought upon it like
Was the third one
buddy cop movies.
Was the third one the recent one, or am I forgetting one?
The third one was the recent one. Yes, that he did.
Alright.
Yes.
I can't.
That
do-
recent one knocks it down a peg.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but really, like the first 2 really did bring upon like that whole buddy cop genre, like the Lethal Weapons and
Yeah.
all of the like Rush Hours. They all followed suit
Yes.
from what
I would-
Beverly
yeah.
Hills Cop did.
I would actually put the Lethal Weapon trilogy or however many there's been in that fucking series at a higher level, just for me. Right?
Yeah. I mean, look for this.
Yeah, because the third Beverly Hills Lethal Weapons above it.
Yeah. And also it's just funny because
Oh, yeah.
yeah, because Mel Gibson, like, you can just tell, like, with his crazy racism that, like, he's just riding in the car with Danny Glover. Like, he's not, like, that relationship isn't as tight as
that
we think
old
it is.
school classic racism. Even
Yeah.
Rush Hour
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. Between Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker,
Well, I believe their chemistry.
there was some great racism in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I believe their relationship.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like Jackie Chan.
Do you understand the
Yeah.
word?
Yes.
Coming out of a, thank
Yes,
you.
but I believe that Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker would take a bullet for each other.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
you know that there's a moment that's going to happen where Mel ain't getting out of the car.
Okay, all right.
Like,
So
Danny's been hit and Mel's going to stay in the vehicle.
what I would say is, in its time, Beverly Hills Cop was probably a classic. But
I'm sure.
as time has passed, it's probably an average.
I would give it average.
It's-
comedy.
it's
I
the-
wouldn't say
buddy
it's
cop
trash.
movie.
It's the third one that brings down the trilogy.
Yeah.
If
Yes.
the third one was as
Yeah,
strong as the
man.
first and second, definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I agree.
Pirates of the Caribbean, even though there's been probably more than 3.
There's
now.
probably
We're-
like 7.
We're ignoring everything after the third.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So the Pirates of the Caribbean.
I would give it probably, in my opinion, I'd give it a classic just because it's probably one of the most iconic performances in the career of Johnny Depp,
Yes.
who's got a hell of a career.
Oh.
Yep.
Yes.
Even though the third one was
Yeah.
weird when like that girl turned into that giant sea goddess thing and she started talking and you couldn't understand a fucking word that was coming out of
Callisto.
her. Yeah,
Calista?
Calypso, I think.
Calypso, yeah.
But when she started talking, you
Calypso.
could, and you
Yeah.
couldn't understand a fucking word that was coming out of her mouth, and it went
But
from
that
like
was
this,
the whole point. She's from New Orleans.
I guess, yeah. But you went from like this pirate adventure movie to this like subplot of like aquatic gods,
Yes,
and I
yes.
checked
Yeah,
out.
like,
I
you're
checked
just,
out.
You're just hating on it because that was you had a crush on her. She was so hot. You're like,
Oh, dude,
God
do you know
damn,
how
now
bad-
I look at her like she's speaking
Bro,
gibberish.
She was a pirate fucking sea witch. You know how bad that thing would be stanking? Hell no. Hell no. It's all fun and games till a crab pinches your lip.
I believe one word comes to mind. Musty.
Yeah.
Musty.
Yeah, bro. That thing's brined up, dude.
All right, so
You
for
can
me,
make a pickle in there.
yeah, I would call it a Disney classic. Also, I think it's the reason Johnny Depp didn't go to jail. Everyone loved
Yeah.
his character as the Pirates of
Yeah.
the Caribbean. He brought it to
Listen,
court.
he is now that character wherever he goes.
Yes.
This is true. This is true.
That role defined him.
All right, we could call it a classic. We
It's a
could call it
classic, I think.
Yeah,
All right.
I'd say it's a classic, man.
Yeah.
All right, rolling into Men in Black.
And as bad as the later iterations were, I almost have to call this a classic
The first movie
because
alone.
of how strong it came out.
The first movie came out the gate, and let me tell you something. Everybody I know was singing, "Here come the Men in Black." Like,
Yeah.
come on. Like Will Smith and who was his cohort?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah,
It was
It's
a-
just a shame that we later found out that Will Smith was a cuck and Tommy Lee Jones was an asshole.
Yeah.
However, I'll
Yeah.
give it more points because of the guy in the roach skin, like the big, like like a Puma skin type.
Vincent D'Onofrio?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
fucking-
I mean,
Oh,
I
man.
would give it more points because of Tommy Lee Jones than I would Will Smith.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Tommy
Yeah.
Lee Jones is just inherently a badass.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Both 1 and 2 were solid movies. 1 being the better, but third one kind of brought it down some.
Yeah,
that's where it fell.
Well,
off.
they run out of ideas. They just try to milk money out of it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean-
I would give it a classic just because of how strong it came out.
Anything
of
Men in Black is just built off that first movie. That's the only reason they've gotten anything else.
Yeah.
because
That's what I would say. I would say it's average, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the exact reason right there. The first movie was so strong, and then they were just living off of the hype from the first movie.
Yeah.
Is there-
And that's why the third movie was so god awful.
It was. It
Like,
was.
what did I just fucking watch, man?
The
Like,
third movie would
Yeah.
be trash by itself.
Is there a way? Is there a way we could fuse like classic and average into claverage?
I'm gonna go with average. I'm gonna go with average on this, and it only really because of the third movie brought down that total
right.
so much. The first one,
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic.
You can
The
convert me. You can
the
convert
first
me. It's
movie
average.
by itself
Yes.
is a classic.
It
It's
is.
everything else that came after it that just kind of keeps bringing it down
Yeah.
little by
But
little.
sadly, we have to judge it as a whole.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's
So
like-
average.
yeah, man.
so you have like one slice of cheese wedged in between 2 pieces of shit,
Firmly in between 2 pieces of
and I
shit.
can't call that a cheese sandwich.
Yeah. All right. We can call it a shit
It's a
sandwich.
shit sandwich.
All right. So we're moving
Yeah.
moving on to Scream, and now I put this on the list for a reason.
Aren't we at like Scream 8?
We are.
All right.
We are. And there's actually a Scream TV show.
Oh, great.
Right? But I will say this. When Scream came out, it kind of made its own horror genre.
Yes.
So that's why I put it on the list. Because,
All because of Rosario Dawson's nipples.
yeah, absolutely. Look, that phone call and that mask are fucking iconic.
That
Iconic.
mask that year and every year since for Halloween has to be a top seller.
It's
Yeah.
iconic.
Yeah, because it came out in the 90s, and he instantly put himself, Ghostface put himself in the likes of like Michael Myers,
Yeah.
Jason, Freddy.
Yeah,
Like he became
instantly.
a
100.
horror.
He is in the latest iteration of Mortal Kombat
Wow.
as a playable character.
Yep.
Years later.
I'm gonna,
Spoof movies
I'm gonna give
became
it,
a thing because
of Scream.
of Scream.
And I believe his name is Ghostface.
Yes,
And so, I mean, and when it came out,
I'll give it high level average
I would call it for the horror genre.
because horror movies in general are a tough watch.
They're campy.
They're a tough
They're
watch.
campy by nature. So
but
I,
if you're judging it based on other horror movies,
then
it's definitely
yes.
I mean,
classic.
I would
Scream
call it
1
a
and
classic.
Scream 1, 2, and 3 is definitely better than a lot of other 1, 2, and
Yeah,
3s.
yeah. Look, they are generally campy movies. I would call it a classic amongst them, also because it did open up. Like, I Know What You Did Last Summer. What's the other one where you die in 30 different ways?
I mean, it-
Final Destination.
Final
I
Destination.
mean,
Nations.
it brought horror movies back to the forefront.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
I'll go with
Yeah.
average just because I'm judging it really hard.
Okay, Ed?
Judging McJudgington.
Based on other trilogies,
Yeah.
I would put it on average. If it were just horror movies, then it would
Yeah.
be classic.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
so I would put it on average for the acting. Like the acting in it was subpar, but
Yeah.
like in terms of its impact on the like horror genre, man, like
Might be God tier.
I'd say it's a classic. There.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna go with classic as well, only because of its impact on the genre and on society as a whole. Like it became pop culture.
It is pop culture Hall of Fame,
yeah,
essentially.
for sure. All right,
What about The Hobbit? Now
moving
we're
on to the Hobbit. Okay,
trilogy.
I'm gonna tell you something about the Hobbit trilogy. Fuck the Hobbit trilogy. It is so trash.
just-
It is so
You
trash.
love it because of the fucking. You love it because all the feet pics. Man. That's-
See, he knows you so well, Ian. Ian, he knows you so well.
Listen. I'm gonna go with classic just because I love Peter Jackson. I love The
No,
Hobbit.
I
Now,
can't do
granted,
it.
there were some extra characters that were never in there, and they definitely stretched it out. I mean, I don't know how you turn one book into a fucking
Yeah.
10-hour trilogy, but nevertheless, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed The Hobbit.
I can't because of the singing.
Oh my
The
God.
fucking singing in The Hobbit made me leave the room to take a shit.
You know,
I'm like,
it's
I'm not
interesting.
listening to this.
The music artist on here is always against anything with music.
anything-
No,
Yeah.
no, I just hate singing in movies, right? Like
Yeah, you
singing
fucking-
in
Dude,
TV
yeah,
shows.
I'm with Nelson on that.
Listen,
Thank you.
If those dwarves would have started rapping, he'd have been fine.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, he'd be like, oh yeah, that's fucking great, man. Dwarf rap. Oh,
Dwarf rap. No, I would.
Erebor, motherfucker.
No,
yeah.
listen. Here's what else I base it against. When you look at the first Lord of the Rings trilogy, and since we're talking about The Hobbit, we'll talk about the Lord of the Rings as well.
Right. Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy, the original, is God tier. It's amazing from
Well, that's
beginning
why I
to
think
end.
I think we should take it off the list because The Lord of the Rings, in my opinion, is not only the greatest trilogy of all time, and is the greatest films of all time.
It is. It absolutely shows you what you
But
could do.
I'm also a racist with a ponytail. So what the fuck do I know?
That is not true because when you went back and you watched the Rings of Power, who was your favorite character?
What the fuck are you talking
The
about?
Rings of Power.
I like the black elf that sang.
Goddamn
The
right.
black-
So you
black
can't
dwarf
be a
that sang.
racist. You love her.
Well, she's got a great voice.
Yeah.
She's a
Okay.
great
All
character.
right then. All right then. No, but
I let the singing go in The Hobbit because if you read The Hobbit, there's a lot of fucking singing in it.
all right. But if you
Like, I knew it was coming. They're singing in The Lord of the Rings that they cut out.
Okay, listen.
Tom Bombadil.
if you watch The Hobbit, all three of them,
Yes.
and then you watch The Lord of the Rings back to back.
Lord of the Rings are better.
Goddamn
By
right
a lot.
it is.
By a lot.
By
Acting,
so
characters,
much.
everything.
By so much, I'm gonna put Hobbit in trash.
Damn. I'll respect that because you're trying to build The Lord of the Rings up.
No,
I'll respect that.
I mean, I understand. when you-
Comparison is a thief of joy, man.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm a fucking thief.
Well, Heath, where do you put the Hobbit, the Hobbit trilogy? Where would you put it, like standalone? Let's pretend The Lord of the Rings don't exist in a dark world.
Yeah, in a dark world where
In a very
that
dark
doesn't
world.
exist. Yeah, I would say I don't know, probably in the average range.
Okay,
I wouldn't say trash,
respectable,
Yeah.
respectable.
And you, Ian?
because it's like
I don't know.
when you have like the desolation of Smog, and then you have the Battle of the Five Armies. Battle
Yeah.
of the Five Armies is actually pretty fucking.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
I loved it. The big
Yeah.
fucking worms just drilling through a mountain and shit. That's a good tactic.
What about the fat dragon?
the fat dragons in Dungeons and Dragons? So
Oh,
you're-
yeah.
You're thinking of a wrong movie.
What was
Thunder-
the guy's name that got killed by the orc? Was it Killy or somebody? Like
Oh
the
yeah,
love
the
scene
the one yeah
between
that,
him and
they
the
threw
fucking
that intergender love scene in. That'd be such a weird sex scene, bro. He'd be all
Yeah,
he'd be
man.
all little and stocky with his like fat dwarf dick, and she's like all slender and perfect as an elf. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd click on it. I definitely had worse fats. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, Ian's like, I definitely try and masturbate to that.
yeah. My favorite character in that whole movie was the elvish king with the white hair, Thranduil. I love that fucking dude, man.
So what are you ranking it then by itself?
I'm gonna give it a classic, but that's because I'm a fantasy nerd.
Okay.
But
Ed?
yeah.
The Hobbit, low classic.
There
Okay.
you go.
Yeah.
Low
I-
class.
Lord of
I
Rings
mean that,
definitely
like-
God tier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what?
Average.
Lord of the Rings, I think,
Yeah.
is off
You
this
guys
list.
have
That's
changed
too
my
high.
mind. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say trash. It's fucking trash.
Oh, there you go. And you're allowed to.
All right,
Speaking of trash, on to the Planet of the Apes.
Goddamn right. Look, I feel like when you watch the Planet of the Apes, it is a reboot of every other Planet of the Apes that comes before
You
it.
know, the only Planet of the Apes I actually finished watching completely through is the reboot with Mark Wahlberg, and I was
Yeah,
not
the
happy when I
first-
left the theater.
Yeah.
I want my money back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're boring.
the first fucking Planet of the Apes, man, that came out in the 90s,
Yeah.
80s, whatever that was. Like those were trash.
Yeah, and
Trash.
I don't even feel right saying Planet of the Apes. Out loud. I don't even like
all right,
it.
so you know what?
Nah,
I think
man.
we're all in agreement. Trash, and we're moving on to a better life.
Yes.
Which is John Wick trilogy.
I know there's more than 3, but just off the first 3 alone, I'm putting classic. Yeah, I
Yes.
think it reinvented Keanu Reeves' career.
Yes.
And it was like, it restored my faith in action movies.
It took action movies to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
The choreograph,
The whole one scene fight, choreographed,
The-
gunplay. I was like,
amazing.
holy shit.
Yeah, I would put it as a classic as well.
Fucking Baba Yaga. I'm giving that guy
bro.
a classic.
Yeah.
classic.
It's so good that
Yeah.
they made a movie called The Ballerina, and everybody's like, "This is shit."
Yeah. Girls can't fight. Boo. Like, no.
So do we only get one God tier, or can we have like?
I mean, you
God
can make the argument for as many God tiers as
Yeah,
you want. It's just-
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I would say John Wick is God tier because it reinvented action movies.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Reinvigorated Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves' fucking career, man. Like it made him like that. To me, is about as big as fucking Matrix was.
Wow.
For him.
Yeah,
It probably
Yeah,
is.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
it really did.
those movies are so good that I can see where you're coming from, and I can't hate on that.
I would have to
John
say-
Wick's, they're great movies.
I would
They're
have
great
to say
fucking
too,
movies.
Keanu Reeves is one of the few real mega star actors.
Yeah.
Like he's like Tom Cruise
Oh,
level.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves goes into a movie,
Except he's
put-
not like 5'1", so I actually believe he can fight.
and he actually trains jujitsu.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Keanu Reeves, like I believe, like might be able to kill me, but like
Alright.
I don't give a fuck if Tom Cruise ambushes me. I'm throwing that little Aussie motherfucker across the room.
Yeah, I'm throwing that midget from the third
Exactly.
balcony just to watch him fall.
Exactly. Get the fuck off my back, Tommy.
All right. Since I know we're not going to get to everything on this list, I want to bounce around to something that is near and dear to Ian's heart.
What?
This is the Aliens trilogy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
right.
expect that. Me personally, I mean, I'm gonna put high classic, almost God tier. I won't put it in God tier just because on this list, I'm only gonna give that to one trilogy, which is Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Because I don't think anything's close to that. But I think Alien, in particularly, invented sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
I think it took it to a new level. It started a whole universe. Like the Alien versus Predator universe spun off the whole fucking Alien movie. And I think the second movie alone with the Queen, and like they changed it from less horror and more into like action survival.
Also,
I loved it.
Ripley was one of the most jacked women in cinematic history at the time.
Back when we didn't have to make them girl bosses that can beat everyone up. What do you
She
know? A
was the original
strong
badass.
female character.
I
Wow.
mean, she was believable.
It was that was the biggest thing.
That's always what it comes down to.
Yeah.
She was actually believable.
I mean, it's her and Sarah Connor from the Terminator series.
Yeah.
Like, if we could just get them to
Yeah,
scissor,
man.
the world would
Yeah.
be great.
Do you think that it's also like they kind of have mom vibes to them?
Scissor would make the world happy.
We would have if they could just scissor, we would have world peace.
How did that slip by me?
We
I didn't
did-
even hear it.
I don't know. I did not slip by Heath, and it did not slip by Ed. I know because I heard Heath laughing immediately. So I'm a firm believer that if we went back to the '80s and Sigourney Weaver and Linda Hamilton would scissor, there'd be no missiles flying over the Middle East right now. I think everything would be okay.
Yeah,
everything would be
a better
all right.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freedom in North Korea.
You know, he might have a point on that.
Yeah, dude.
That's something I would cry and masturbate.
Bro, just imagine, like fucking Ripley's working on a power suit, like in a hangar somewhere, and all of a sudden a portal opens, and out steps Sarah Connor, like straight out of Terminator 2, jacked as fuck in her tank top. She says, "What are you doing here?" And, I don't know. We should fucking scissor. And next thing you know, fucking combat pants coming off, the boots stay on, baby. Woo!
It's a good time.
It
It's
is.
a good time.
All I can fucking picture is like Mr. Cartman in fucking South Park when he turns into a woman and he scissors in the fucking
Yeah. Oh yeah.
fucking lesbo.
Yeah. Oh, scissor me, timbers.
Oh, you guys fucking.
God,
crazy.
I like you, Heath. We got to get you on. We got to get you in this, somehow in the studio.
All right. So going into another one, getting away from scissoring.
Wait a minute, you guys didn't grade Aliens.
I mean, how do you grade scissoring? I don't know, bro.
Do we give it the scissor
God
grade?
tier. It's God tier.
It's scissor tier.
Scissor tier. I would call the Aliens a classic.
Classic. Yeah. Oh wow,
Yeah,
wow.
high
What about
level
you,
classic.
Heath?
I would go classic.
God,
Yeah.
I love that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Unanimous.
All right. So moving on to the best Christmas movie of all time,
Okay, agreed.
the Die Hard trilogy.
Die Hard trilogy. The first one, literally, like I said, the first one. You're right, is the best Christmas movie of all time.
Yes.
I'll go with classic. Is not consistent as the other two iterations are.
Correct.
I think it's a low classic.
Yeah.
Low classic.
I would give it an average only because number one came out the box so hard. It was so fantastic. It's like Men in Black.
Yeah.
2 and 3 were
Meh.
in comparison.
2 and 3
to
were
number
bonuses
one.
because of number 1.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I agree. And not to anything against the cast, but
Yeah.
it just wasn't the right
story wasn't-
I
script
guess
wasn't-
story
you're
wasn't
right
as
because
good.
like I know the villain from the first one and like I think the villain
Hans Gruber.
I don't know who the villain in 2 and 3 were.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point. I don't
even
recall
fuck-
the
I
villain
can't even tell you who
at
he was
all
going
for
up
2 and
against.
3.
Yeah. So yeah, I would give it an average as far as that's
Yeah,
concerned.
that's what I would do that too. Just
All right.
like Bruce Willis and what was that guy's name? That was the actual villain in.
Snape.
Alien.
Oh my God. why
Alan
is it-
Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
Severus Snape.
Severus Snape. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the same guy that was Snape, but he was also in like some other fucking movies.
Yeah,
He
Al-
always
I
played a
can't
good
even-
bad guy.
But
Yeah.
he was
Alan
well,
Rickman.
yeah, I mean, like he was in like Quickly Down Under, an old Western movie as a bad guy. And he just was a really good really good
He
villain,
was.
man. Like
He
even
was.
in even in
Wow,
the Harry
you
Potter
you
series,
pulled
like,
you
he
pulled
was good.
you pulled Quigley Down Under out. That's a great fucking film, dude. That's actually a really good movie where he's the really good sharpshooter, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
God
yeah, it's got
damn, Heath.
Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a fucking great movie. I can't believe you pulled that out of nowhere. Jesus.
Yeah, man.
All right. So here's another trilogy that influenced my childhood. This is why I put it on the list. It's the Mighty Ducks.
God.
Okay, listen.
Oh my
Emilio
fucking God.
Estevez and that cast of misfit kids. Me and my brother played hockey in New York because of the fucking Mighty Ducks.
I'm not giving it classic. It's average.
How are you gonna hate
I'm
on
Yeah.
Emilio
Everybody-
Estevez?
As much as I love those movies, I also gotta say average.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, dude. It's like low average.
Yeah, I
didn't
never
make-
even made it to the first one, so I'm saying trash, man.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, Heath.
So I'm
Right.
gonna go with God tier. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Definitely not.
It's average,
Not
but
to shit on your hockey player.
No, but-
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I love how Nelson's like, this movie super influenced my childhood. He's like, fucking trash.
fucking trash.
Garbage.
Your whole childhood is trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Trump up and like nailed it over to the trash can. Man.
He's like, fucking trash.
Oh man! All right. So now going into, we're gonna speed up a little bit here. Oh, the original.
There's 3 Star Wars trilogies.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ugh.
And so the original
Let's
Star
go
Wars
off the
trilogy.
original. Let's go off the original.
The original. The first 3 is God tier to me. That redefined.
There's 9 movies
science
because
fiction.
of the first 3.
Listen.
It's God tier. The original Luke, I am your father. Like
Because I'm a
fuck.
Lord of the Rings purist, and I won't let anything get close to it, I will put Star Wars at as high as I can put it as a classic. As high as I can put it.
It's God tier for
It's
me.
God tier, bro.
for
It
me.
redefines
Just like
sci-fi.
Yeah, and
Oh,
because of
yeah,
that,
man.
because of those 3 movies and how successful they were, we now have lesbian space witches
Shut the
and
fuck
fucking
up.
fat Jedi.
Disney.
So, yeah.
That's
Where it-
Disney.
Yes,
Yeah.
where it went has nothing to do with where it started.
Think of the world we're in now because of them. There's fucking fat kids that think they're Jedi.
I'm gonna tell you,
Now
if
we
you
got
go
that-
back and you watch the original, engineers behind what they did to put that movie together and make it a reality, it's insane.
That's great. I walk up, pat him on the shoulder, and say, "You're classic." Congratulations, congratulations, claymation
Fuck
engineer.
outta here.
Yeah, you and your Rancor doll get a fucking classic.
As a matter of fact, that Rancor doll was an actual deer fetus.
That is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah,
But,
bro.
but also the most metal thing I've heard in a while. And maybe that pushes it closer to God tier.
Ed, where do you put it at?
You had me at deer fear, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Nice.
Oh, the original is God tier.
Absolutely. The second trilogy, I would
Average.
I would say
I fell asleep during Attack of the Clones.
I would say the second trilogy was average when it came out. I think it's looked at as classic at this point.
It is.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is. It's gotten better.
Some
What
of
was,
the
what was the second trilogy?
That's the one with Darth Maul.
Yeah, that was
and the
episodes
Phantom
1,
Menace.
2, and 3.
Yeah.
The Phantom Menace.
Oh, okay.
Where you had
Yeah.
Liam Neeson drunk and pissing himself as Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah. No, what makes me laugh is like the Jedi, as pious as they are, they're like, I will buy your son, but I will leave you in slavery.
Yeah.
Yes.
See you later.
Clearly, this child fears because of his mother. Let's leave her here to
Yeah.
die as
Yeah.
a slave.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers had temples. He could have bought her out.
Yeah.
He could have bought her freedom.
And then years later, she got taken to Pound Town by Sand People.
it was Jar Jar
Pound
Binks.
You tell me they just burnt the house down and didn't tap that? Get out of here.
It was Jar Jar Binks that fucked up that second
yeah.
set of trilogy for me.
Yeah, the last time I watched the second trilogy, Jar Jar Binks is such a hard thing to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like watching Boss Nass, that fat Gungan flap his cheeks around. That's the highlight of that. And the obvious pedophilia in the eyes of Padme Amidala as she stares at a tiny boy Anakin.
Oh, so
and just
bad.
going, I'm going to suck that dick later.
So-
I'm like, oh, God. What the fuck are we doing here, George?
All right,
Yeah, that got down a dark rabbit hole.
It
Right.
definitely
Like,
did.
The movie
It
ends
definitely
with them
did.
looking at each other. I'm like, why would you send me out of the theater like that? Like, that 16-year-old girl is looking at that fucking, like, 10-year-old boy like, I can't wait for him to get up in me. I'm like, oh, Christ, he's a little boy pod racing. What the fuck are we
God
doing
damn.
here? George Lucas doesn't care. Doesn't care.
But neither does George R. Martin, okay? Because he's a bad motherfucker too.
George Martin he found a way to put full frontal male nudity in every episode.
Yeah, he did. That was his personal preference.
He's like, we need more cock in this episode.
Yeah, we need
like more cowbell. More cowbell.
More cowbell.
All right, we're gonna end it on this one because I feel like this has to be mentioned as far as trilogies are concerned.
There's a couple on this list, so I don't know.
Ooh, like what?
I don't know, dude. Like The Godfather is good.
The Godfather trilogy is a classic,
man. It's so good that you guys added it twice, and they're literally like 4 things apart. Like it goes Godfather, Superman, Batman, Jurassic Park, Godfather trilogy. Yeah. I'm surprised it's not on here 3 times.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the Terminator trilogy. We did talk about her as well. Like, look, they were campy.
Classic because of the first 2.
Right. But the third one with the melting dude. The T2000?
T1000.
What? That was a bad motherfucker.
That was the second one.
That was the second one?
Yeah, the third one is that chick that
the
came
first
back.
one he's evil. The second one he's helping them.
Yeah.
Got it.
The third one he's also helping them, but it's like the chick with the weird arm that fires the electric thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with, I have to put this at classic just because of the first 2. And a lot of people argue that Terminator 2 could be the greatest action movie of all time. And it's a solid argument, yeah.
Really?
It's up there with Predator, and it's
that's
a
another
great
one where like
movie.
the third movie pulls it down a bit.
Yeah, it did. I would go with classic as far as the Terminator series is concerned.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it being put in classic.
How about you, Heath?
Yeah, I'd say classic. I mean, you could almost argue that it's borderline average because of the fucking
the acting
third one, but and the acting, man. Like, I'm a super sophisticated space robot from the future, but I'm gonna go through the fucking phone book. Figure out which people I'm gonna kill.
Bro, you mean to tell me you don't got Google in the future, bro?
Since we're talking about all this, I just want to do a shout out to the late great Bill Paxton, the actor that passed away. He's
serial killer?
No, he's not a serial killer.
Oh, all right,
he was an actor. And he is the only actor to have appeared in 3 different of these trilogies that we're talking about. And he's been killed by the Terminator at the very beginning. He's the punk that gets his stomach punched through.
Okay.
He's been killed by the Predator in Predator 2 with Danny Glover. And he's been killed by the alien xenomorph in the second Aliens movie.
No shit.
So Bill Paxton has been in all 3 of those trilogies, and he was murdered by the Predator, the Terminator, and the Xenomorph. So I would like to thank Bill for his service.
That's what's up. Okay, all right, I can see that.
Thank you for getting killed 3 times.
Thank you. Thank you for dying horribly 3 times, and then once in real life, pretty horribly.
So then I would rate his movie career as trash. And
do not end on
That's
that.
why he kept getting killed off, man. His acting sucked.
Your career is not strong enough to be anything
Jesus.
better than Guy That Dies.
Don't do it.
thank you
Jesus
for joining us at the
Christ.
Sofa Kingdom Podcast.
Jesus Christ. We're
Heath,
sorry, Heath.
Thank you for coming on, and we had a good time, man. You're welcome back anytime.
Yeah, dude, you ever get down to South Florida, make sure to reach out to us. We'll get you in here.
Yeah. Any final words?
Yeah.
No, it was good hanging out with you. It was a little fun.
Yeah, dude. It's glad to have you
I'm
on.
gonna try and masturbate now.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's the name of the episode. Try and masturbate.
We're both spending our day the same, Heath. We're both spending our day the same.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us, bro.
See you, man.
All right.
Take her easy. Good
That
stuff.
was
Good stuff.
That was fun.
A lot of energy there.
Fantastic.
I think it's